Welcome to Living Clean. Today I'm solo. I'm all alone. And then when I'm gonna talk about, I really don't know, but I chose healing. Is healing possible? I don't know, but on my record, I have 640 plus days being clean, free from addiction. And then the day I heard that addiction is a disease is when I was in rehab. I couldn't believe that it is true that you can heal from such a disease. You don't get healed, but you manage it. I did manage for 640 days. Addiction is a disease, it's a powerful disease. And then it affects families, friends, especially women. Women, we don't talk about it. I was an alcoholic. I keep on telling people I was an alcoholic, but I'm free now from alcohol. I've been clean for almost 640 days. And then it's one of the most powerful thing to say that ke letahwa. But how did it comes to that? Acceptance. Once you accept yourself who you are, it becomes a question of who am I? The first thing I recognize about myself is that I know who am I. I'm an addict. I have 640 days clean. And then throughout this life of on my journey, I have understood that it is possible to heal. Because looking back into my life, I've seen that and noticed that I've forgiven my father. We can sit together and talk and laugh about life. And then I learned few things, three or two things from him. And then that's how healing comes to you. And you start to believe in yourself. And then it doesn't happen overnight. It takes daily. So one thing I've learned from rehab is that they give you this environment whereby you have to understand who you are. You have to learn the journey. You have to truly see and figure it out. How can it be possible to figure through healing that there is life? And people give up before, especially men. I've heard people saying that men don't talk too much. Men do this. It's because they have a fear of being judged. It's okay to be judged, but the moment you accept yourself, you free yourself. And remember, this is the most beautiful month. I keep on telling people that if you stand up for yourself, like Mandela did, he stood up firstly for himself. And then once you stand up for yourself and then you start to accept who you are, regardless. I'm a short person. I can walk in a room of tall people and still feel tall. And that shows how courage and how strong have I accepted myself for my height and everything. So my addiction came about, like I keep on saying that, a childhood trauma. Built that, and I escaped that through alcohol. So alcohol to me, I'll keep on telling people, it became my scapegoat where I solved my problem, but in the long run, it catched me up. I have to face my own demons. So my demons were stronger than me when I'm drunk. I have 640 days clean. I've, I can fight my demons every day because I sleep happy. I wake up happy, which is the most fundamental, important thing in life. People want more. People want recognition. People want love. People want that. But the moment you accept who you are, the healing becomes part of your life. So find healing. Accept the life the way it is. That is how you become who you want to be and who you are meant to be. Everyone is a chosen one. The moment you are born, you are the chosen one. By figuring who you are, it's like identifying yourself to God, telling God Himself, I'm available to you. Use me as much as you can. Now I have this company called Living Clean with Lesego. I call it a service. I bring out my life to people so that they can also figure themselves who they are. This is the most important thing about life. Find who you are, the healing will come to you. Automatically, healing comes to people who know themselves. You ask a person a simple question. Can you tell me about yourself? They'll start to telling you, I have a degree, I have money, I have this is not who you are. The person who you are, for example, I am an alcoholic. I'm an addict. I abused alcohol. I have identified that in me. I know myself. I know myself. If I pick up one bottle, one is too many, 1,000 is never enough. That is who I am. So the moment I started to realize who I am, I started to become clean. I started getting fatter, and I started to love who I am. So that shows the courage that really we can survive this life of depending on people's recognition. We call it validation. Don't go out there and people to validate you. You're doing good. No, 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 no. It's in within you. That's how people, a healed person is rich inside. That is how I can recognize as someone and say, this guy smiles from the, the inside. So your subconsciousness, the void in you, start to deal with it. And then I remember there was one time when my mom once caught me smoking. And then he said to me, why you hiding yourself if you can't hide from God? And I posed this question, Mama ka a re, "Ke kgona go mo iphitlhela, mara ke palelwa ke go iphitlhela Modimo." And that thing stuck with me for a very long time. That is why I used that. When I left rehab, I told myself, I won't need a validation from anyone. I ask God, Mudim, I cannot I only ask you to help me. I don't care about people. It's just me and you. Validate me, help me achieve this. This is one of the biggest achievements I've ever done. Being almost 2 years clean is one of the things that shows that I don't need validation from people. I don't need healing from other people. I need healing from my inside. And once I heal inside, this is where automatically I know that healing is possible because I wake up happy, I sleep happy, regardless of how the weather was, how the day was. Because when I wake up, I pray and I ask God, please, Modimo, ke kopa go sane today. And we do that, me and God. The rest, it covers itself. And then I learned these two things and three from the rehab. They tell you that within a year you're gonna have seasons. But within that season doesn't mean you only have problem. There's summer, there's winter, there's spring, there's autumn. But you have to live through those things. That is how you tell people I had a good year. I tell people I had a fucking beautiful 2 years of my entire life because I was happy inside. So if you can't find happiness from yourself, or what are we seeking from other person, trust me, you don't know who you are. So for me today, my message is try to find who you are, then the healing will start to find you. Try to accept who you are, then the healing will find you. In all of these storms, there's a say whereby it's a nature say. When there's a storm, the buffaloes run straight to the storm. You know why? Because they're gonna run lesser because they're facing the storm and the storm is passing. So some of you, when the storm comes, you run away. The storm will keep on pushing and pushing, and you're gonna get tired and it's gonna get you exhausted. That is how we fail. I chose to face the storm. And then that is how I beat the storm. I faced the storm and I raised my voice and I prayed about it and I became who I am. Now, today, I can tell people I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my steps that I took. I'm rich inside. I'm wealthy inside. I'm powerful because God is with me. So I'm very thankful to have Living Clean with Lesego. It's my name, it's my second name, and I'm proud of it. It means luck. You know what luck means? Luck means putting so much effort and then putting that effort with a little touch of luck, it brings brilliance. That's why I chose Lesego. It's hard work, determination, with a touch of magic that calls luck. And that is how you become brilliant in life. And then the most important thing I have to recognize in my life is for me to believe that there is a higher power. And then once I believe that there is a higher power out there, and then I started to realize that I must pull out something called service, give people something out. And then from there, I want to say thank you to the Godfather, the higher power, and thank God to the Living Clean, and thank God for the people who support me. And then, guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Living Clean with Lesego. I love you and I respect you. Thank you.